All right, good morning, friends. So let's see if I can keep everything in frame today. Yesterday I struggled with that a little bit. So I grabbed this journal that is just kind of a catch-all for me right now. It's a lot of miscellaneous, and I'm excited to complete it. Anyway, I was browsing Instagram last night and I follow Warm Morning Sun, and I caught that her and Dodges and Daisies are doing a challenge, and it's called the MBTI Journal Challenge. I love the MBTI, Myers-Briggs type identifier. I am a hardcore INFJ, which is one of the rarest types, which makes a lot of sense because until I found out about the MBTI, I just thought I was broken. Like, I literally thought I was crazy. And everything, I have a whole Pinterest board full of INFJ posts because they help me to feel not so alone. And so I was excited about this challenge. So if you're interested, I will tag both of them, put it down in the description, and you can go check that out. So I thought I would open these. I did a little prep work because of drying time and whatnot. So I threw some gesso down on these pages, and then a couple different paints. I used these two Blick paints, matte acrylics. I do not have a love affair with Blick, actually. I really don't like Blick, but I own some stuff and I need to use it up, so that's what I'm doing. And actually, I mean, their paint isn't that paint is pretty good, actually. They just managed to mess up my order every time in a different way, and it's quite impressive how they managed to do it. So anyway, I thought I have these letters, these Tim Holtz letters that I actually got from a thrift store on my road trip to Iowa, and I thought I could pull out INFJ, maybe, and glue that down for this page. There's an F. You guys probably saw that F a long time ago and you were like, there's the F, there's the F. How many J's do you think are, oh, look at that, INFJ. What? Okay, so that was easier than I thought it would be. I used my handy dandy little sprocket to print out a silly picture of my face. Thought I'd put that on there. And then I typed up a couple of things from one of my Pinterest boards about INFJs, and I did that on some vintage ledger paper because I freaking love vintage ledger paper. So thought if I'm making a page about myself, that would be appropriate to use. So I'm just gonna get started here. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're well. It's finally starting to cool off a little bit here in Arizona, and you know, by cool off I mean our highs are only in the high 80s instead of 110. Hey, we'll take it. We will take it. So this says, INFJs place great importance on having things orderly and systematic in their outer world. They put a lot of energy into identifying the best system for getting things done and constantly define and redefine their priorities in their lives. On the other hand, INFJs operate within themselves on an intuitive basis, which is entirely spontaneous, which I'm just here to tell you can leave you feeling quite broken because you're such a contradiction to yourself. And that is so true of me. Everything I read about INFJs, I'm like, yep, that's me. I would be super curious if you know your MBTI, if you put it in the comments. I love to know. I think it's fascinating. I think it's a highly underrated system. I think it brings a lot of knowledge to a person. Self-awareness is such a big thing to me. INFJs are simultaneously the most starry-eyed idealists and the bitterest of cynics. That is also true of me. I think the people that know me best can attest to that. So I'm just gonna ink the edges of this because, you know, that's what I do to like everything. It's kind of funny. All right. I don't know why, I just love inking the edges of things. So yeah, I do find that in order to function, I need to have things in order. I'm also very much like, I know I said this yesterday, that this would work best, but now today I'm feeling that this other thing would work best, and so we're gonna do that. Thankfully, my husband is a very understanding and kind, patient man, and he usually just goes along with it. I love him for that. So, those of you that have followed me over on Instagram for a long time, you know that I always have systems for my stuff. Like, I just have to. That's how I function. So yeah, let's get some stuff glued in. This is just gonna be a super fast page, which, I mean, almost everything that I do these days seems to be a super fast page, but I love it. That's one thing I love about art journaling is you can just, you know, make some art in quick order. Since they're just barely gonna fit on here. Last night I took some time, if you saw my post on Instagram this morning, you know, I took some time to actually do a regular painting, and I just did it on mixed media paper, but well, first I put down some collage, and then I did a painting, and it just felt good. Like, I don't know, I go in spurts, I guess. I don't have the painting bug all the time. So when I do have it, I'm like, I gotta jump on it and use it. But I'm grateful that the rest of the time I can work on making journals and embellishments and whatnot for journals. So, and that's one thing I find as I'm getting older is just learning to go with the flow and embrace whatever mode I'm in. You know, it's okay. Ain't no big thing. All right. And I think down here I want to write in what this was for. So I'm gonna hashtag MBTI journal challenge. Awesome. And let's get these glued in on the other side. Got a glue stick here. Make sure it is good and covered. Yeah, and I don't know why I just sang like the circus song. That's my life. Awesome sauce. And this one. Oh, I'm so excited to have this page in here. I don't know, I wouldn't have thought of making a page about the MBTI. So I could do a whole journal on my personality type, honestly. Like I said, I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to it. And if you take the test and you're like wanting to know, is that really me? Go on Pinterest, type in your type, and see if it sounds like you. And if it's not, if it doesn't sound like you, I'm looking for a pencil. If it doesn't sound like you, go back and take the test again and try to see if maybe there are places you could answer more honestly. You know, because sometimes an answer could go either way and you're like, oh, I don't really know how to answer that. Is this, yeah. Okay. It's like, did I grab the right pencil? I did. But yeah, it's fascinating. I love it. Like I said, I just felt so like validated when I read my personality type. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not broken. This is just who I am. So, you know. Okay, grabbing my water brush here. Just wanted to put a little shadow around that and kind of make it feel like it belongs on the page there. So anyway, let me know if you're playing along. I would love to see your page. I did follow the hashtag on Instagram, so I should get notified if you post, but I feel like Instagram has not been fantastic about letting me know. Even times when I've been tagged, they sometimes don't notify me, and that's really frustrating. But it's okay. I'm grateful for Instagram because it has connected me with so many like-minded people. I try not to complain about it too much. There's always going to be drawbacks, but I think the good outweighs the bad. Alrighty, so I don't know. Maybe I should do some of these over here, just a couple to kind of tie the two pages together. This is a symbol that my grandpa used. This and the smiley face are symbols that he used in his, you know, like when he did woodworking or whatever, that's how he would sign his work. And that is why I always put a smiley face on my signature on my Etsy orders. It's a tribute to my grandpa, who is probably one of the sweetest people I've ever met. And yeah, I got to see him when I went back to Minnesota. This picture is actually me and my grandpa walking down the hall at his nursing home, which was special for me to be able to see him. I'm gonna do one more here. I just feel like, just want one more there. Okay, I'm calling it done, guys. It didn't take very long, did it? Amazing, amazing. Okay, here we go. Da, da, da. Thanks for following along, and hopefully you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time. Who knows what journal we'll work in next time. Thanks, guys.